Hi friends, how are you today? Mrs. Gleason here. Today we're going to do some more math. And today I would like for you to find 12-8 in your math mat and find your black math book 12-8. And then come back and see me. Okay, welcome back, my friends. So do you remember yesterday we talked about capacity, how much something holds? If my bottle of water holds more, or if my bottle of water holds less. So this held more and this holds less. So today we are going to be talking about a scale, how much something weighs, which one would hold more? If it holds more, it might make the scale be heavy and it might tip. And if it holds less, it might stick up in the air. So let's watch the video to understand what I'm talking about with comparing weight of something, okay? So here we go.
Look at the scale in the picture. What is on one side of the scale? An apple is on one side of the scale. Why is that side down? It's down because the other side is empty. The other side does not have an object on it. Now look at the scale. What is on the other side of the scale?
A cherry.
A cherry is on the other side of the scale. Which fruit is heavier?
I think the apple's heavier. What about you?
The apple is heavier than the cherry. How do you know the apple is heavier? The side with the apple on it is lower. What is on the scale now? 2 apples are on the scale. Which apple is heavier?
I think they might be about the same. What do you think?
Neither is heavier. They weigh the same. The first apple's weight is equal to the second apple. How do you know they are equal? Neither side of the scale is down. The scale has a melon on it now. Which fruit is lighter?
The apple. Now the melon side went down.
The apple is lighter. How do you know the apple is lighter? The side with the apple on it is higher. Which fruit is heavier? The melon is heavier. How do you know the melon is heavier? The side with the melon on it is down. Now you know how to use a scale to tell which objects are heavier and lighter.
Okay, my friends, today we are going to be looking at some objects on our math mat and determine if you were to have a scale, which item would be heavier and which item would be lighter. Okay, have your math mats ready to go, and we're going to take a look. So here's my math mat. First thing I do is always the same. I pick up my pencil and write my name, Mrs. Gleason. So here's a scale. You could play this game at home. Because this side is down, it means the heavy object goes here. This side is up, it means the lighter object goes there. So I'm going to play the game twice with you. You can play it at home with somebody. I have a box of crayons and I have 1 crayon. So which one would I put in? Which one is heavier? This full box of crayons are heavier. So my scale goes down, pushes it down, and this crayon would go up. So this is the heavy side, this is the lighter side. Let me see if I can find two more things. I have some big scissors and I have some little scissors. Well, by looking at the size of them, and I could kind of hold them too, this size scissor is heavier than this size of a scissor. Let's see if you can find some objects at home and you can put them on your work mat to tell someone at home what object is heavier and what object is lighter. Okay, how about you go try that? Or you can try after we're done with our math mat. So my friends, if I look here, here is my story of our video. The apple sat and went down because it's heavier. The apple is still heavier than the cherry. The cherry is lighter than the apple. These apples weigh the same, so my scale is even. On this picture, the watermelon is heavier than the apple. So this side of my scale, my balance scale, went down. So let me read the directions to you for 1, 2, 3, and 4. You are going to compare the objects and circle the heavier object. So think if you were to hold these objects in your hand, which one would feel heavier? Well, I know this TV would be pretty heavy. I might not even be able to hold it. Much heavier than the DVD that would go into the VCR. So I'm going to circle this one. This TV is heavier than the CD. How about on number 2? This looks like a big, thick book. And this looks like more of a paperback book. I'm thinking this item is heavier. It weighs more. If I was to pick up a computer or pick up a telephone or a walkie-talkie, which one would be harder for me to lift? The computer would be harder because it is heavier. You do this one. I did this one with you already. Remember when we did the crayons in the crayon box? Which one is heavier? Circle the one that's heavier here. You do it yourself. I know you can. On number 5, 6, 7, and 8, you are going to compare the objects, and this time you are going to put an X on the object that is lighter. So if it's lighter, put an X. If the object weighs the same, you are going to underline both of them. So if it is lighter, put an X. Let me see here. Let me see. These, a piece of bread, a piece of bread. Well, I'm thinking they're the same. So they told us to underline. Let's look here. This is heavier. This is lighter. Put an X on the one that is lighter, is what it says. Here's an orange and here's a cherry. Which one is lighter? I'm going to say my cherry is lighter than an orange. You do this one. Which one is lighter? Is it the little alarm clock or the big clock that hangs on your wall? This guy is lighter than this guy. So which one gets the X? You can do it. You're right, it's this one. Okay, friends, today you compared objects, heavy and light. So on your math workbook, page 12-8, you are going to be comparing an object with its weight. So here's the balance scale, like you saw in the video. Have children look at the objects and decide which object is heavier and which object is lighter. Then have them match the heavier object to the low part of the scale and match the lighter object to the high side of the scale. So right here, this scale is tilted down and this is up. A soccer ball is pointing here because it is going to push the scale down more than this little bouncy ball. This soccer ball is heavier than the bouncy ball. On number 2, if you have a ballet slipper and you have a big rain boot, this scale is pushing down. So this is where the heavy one goes. And my ballet slipper is lighter, so it goes right here. Now think about this. Here's my scale. The scale right here is pushing down. So it's pushing down, which means this will be the heavy object. And this is going up, so this will be the lighter object. So I'm going to take my skate and I'm going to put it this way because I believe the ice skate is heavier than the soccer cleat. So because it's heavier, it's pushing down on the scale. And this one is going to pop up. Here's 2 more objects. I have a flip-flop and a boot that I would wear to the snow, it looks like. So here's my balance scale. This balance scale is pushing down here because it is heavier. This part of the scale is pushing up. So if I were to put these on a scale, I would say this boot is heavier. It's going to push the scale down. And the lighter object is going to go up. Heavier, lighter. Heavier, lighter. Heavier, lighter. Heavier, lighter. Good job, my friends. Okay, remember, if you need to take a break, pause the video and come back and see me. On this side, it says comparing by weight. Have children compare each pair of objects and then mark an X on the lighter object. If it is lighter, put an X on it. I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3, and I want you to do 4, 5, and 6 by yourself. So they asked me to put an X on the lighter object. I believe a ring is lighter than a watch. Here I have a big picture frame, and here I have a ring, another ring, I believe that is, or a bracelet. I believe that this ring or bracelet is lighter than the picture frame. These are both photo albums, but this is a bigger photo album. So I would say this photo album is heavier than this photo album. So they want me to put an X on the one that is lighter. Now I have a telephone and a big telephone fax machine, copy machine. I believe that's what this is. So I believe that this telephone is lighter than this big fax machine telephone. So put an X on the lighter one. You have a hairbrush and a hairdryer. Put an X on the lighter one. And my last one is, I have a purse, big purse, and I have a wallet. Put an X on the one that is lighter. I know you can do it. Now, I want you to go and try to find some objects at home. And when you find some objects at home, you can tell mom or dad or sister or brother which objects are lighter or which objects are heavier. Compare 2 items and tell which one is lighter and which one is heavier. You could pretend you're the scale and you could hold them both and play the game at home and talk about heavier and lighter. So far, my friends, with our math unit on measurement 12 topic, you've learned about using a ruler, you've learned about things that are taller, you've learned about things that are smaller, you've learned about things that hold more, hold less, you've learned about what is lighter, what is heavier. So tomorrow, I think you're going to be working on the test for chapter 12. So remember all those things you learned in the last few weeks and think about how you use measurement every day and have fun with it. Okay, so I'm going to say goodbye for now.